date, Mataji.
Be completed, yes. From today, 1.2.9. In Sadhana Bhakti, we have Vaidhi Bhakti, Raga Bhakti. In both the Bhaktis, one thing is common, that Kleshagni is there and Shubhada is also there. Kleshagni, Shubhada. Whether you are in Vaidhi Bhakti or whether you are in Raga Bhakti, spontaneous love, or following the regulative principles, in both, these two things are going to happen. 1.2.9. And previous to this was Smartavya Statam Vishnu, Vismartavya Jatuchit, Sarvidhi Nishedasur, Etayor Eva Kinkaraha. Whatever Vidhi, whatever Nished, rules and regulations one has to follow these two things. These two are the most important principles. What is that? Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna. Vismartavya Najatuchit. Never forget Krishna. Now 1.2.9. इत्यासौ स्यात् इत्यासौ स्याद्विधिर्नित्यः सर्ववर्णाश्रमादिषु इत्यैवाप्यस्य निर्णीतम् एकादश्यादिवत् फलम्. Everyone within and without the varnashrama should always follow this rule concerning worship of the Lord. So within and without means what? There are certain mlechas, they don't come in varnashrama. Prabhupada met mlechas. Foreigners are generally regarded as mlechas. They eat cow meat and all. So they don't come even in Shudra category. That is why they are considered as mlechas. But just see, even though they are mlechas, they don't come in the category of Shudras also. Lower than that, because they eat cow meat, they eat what all nonsensical things they eat. But then, just by remembering Krishna, this rule is for everyone. Just by following Krishna, just by remembering Krishna, one uplifts oneself from this klesha. What is that klesha? We dealt with four reactions of klesha, four types of kleshas. One is sinful reaction, three sinful reactions where prarabdha came, bija, and avidya. So in this way, prarabdham, born in the lowest family, what to do? But one can come out of it. Now just see, because of Srila Prabhupada, the ones who are not even considered as Shudras, they become they have become gurus, isn't it? They are teaching to the whole world. They are setting an example. It's just because of the mercy of the Acharya. Mercy of Acharya. Because of that, Kleshagni. Avidya is completely removed. What is avidya? Material desires are not there. So this is the power of whether you are in the Varnashrama, whether you are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or you are not in this category, just by worship of the Lord, just by following this rule, one uplifts oneself. Though it is always to be followed as a daily duty according to the scriptures also ascribe attractive material results for observing it, as in the case of the Ekadashi Vrata. Like if a person follows Ekadashi Vrata, that is enough for him to uplift himself. There's a power of Ekadashi Vrata. Okay. So this rule is for everyone. Okay. You read Aditya. And Pushpa Mataji, you read the paragraph, one paragraph.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. It associat vidhir sarvavarnashramasu nityatve apya asya nirnitam ekadashya adivat phalam. Translation: thus, everyone within and outside the varnashram system should always follow this rule concerning worship of the Lord. Though it is always to be followed as a daily duty according to the scriptures also ascribe attractive material results for observing it, as in the case of Ekadashi Vrata.
This regulative principle is applicable to all varnas and ashramas, the castes and occupations of life. There are four varnas, namely the Brahmanas, priests and intellectuals, Kshatriyas, warriors and statesmen, Vaishyas, businessmen and farmers, Shudras, laborers and servants. There are also four standard ashramas, namely Brahmacharya, student life, Grihastha, householder, Vanaprastha, retired, and Sannyasa, renounced. The regulative principles are not only for the brahmacharis, celibate students to follow, but are applicable for all. It doesn't matter whether one is a beginner, a brahmachari, or is very advanced, a sannyasi. The principle of remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly and not forgetting Him at any moment is meant to be followed by everyone without fail.
Okay. Now 1.10, 1.2.10 and 11. That goes up to the whole page, next page. Last but two till there. Last two paragraphs are 12 and 13. Okay, till that you have to read. 1.2.10 and 11. Let us see first. 1.2.10 and 11. Yatha Ekadashe, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 2 and 3 verse. Tu Vyaktam Evuktam. Mukha Bahuru Padebhya Purushasya Shamai Saha Chatvaro Jannire Varna
Jajnire Varna
Jannire Jajni, do not say judge. Jannire, as a j becomes silent. Jannire Varna Gunair Vipra Dayah Tak यह एषां पुरुषं साक्षात् आत्मप्रभावम् ईश्वरः न भजन्त्यवजानन्ति स्थानात् भ्रष्टः पतन्त्यः. So 11th canto, Vaidhi Bhakti should be followed by all Varna and Ashrama. Each of the four social orders, headed by Brahmanas, was born through different combinations of modes of nature. From the face, arms, thighs, feet of the Lord in this universal form. It is said the face is Brahman, the arms are the Kshatriyas, thighs are the Vaishyas, feet are the Shudras. Anyhow, they are all coming from they all represent these angas of Krishna. Thus, the four spiritual orders were also generated. If any of the members of the four Varnas and four ashramas fail to worship or intentionally disrespect the personality of Godhead, who is the source of their own creation, they will fall down from their position into a hellish state of life. So one has to respect the four Varnas and four ashramas. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, in order to show the misfortune of not worshipping the worshipful Lord, first the reasons why the Lord is to be worshipped are shown in the first verse. The four Varnas, headed by Brahmanas, along with the ashramas, arising from the gunas, appear from the head, arms, belly, and feet of Lord. It's actually belly, actually. Vaishyas are the belly. The thighs are, we put belly. Those who do not worship the Lord, from whom directly arise the Brahmanas and all others, and who rather insult the Lord by not worshipping Him, fall down from their position in the Varnashrama system. Just as failure to respect the most respectable person is called disrespect. Failure to respect the most respectable person is called disrespect. So, failure to worship the Lord, who is the most worthy of worship, is called contempt. Avajananti. That is why na bhajanti avajananti sanad bhrashta patanti adaha. In this way, they fall down. That is why in Vaidhi Bhakti, one has to be very careful. In the sadhana bhakti, one has to be careful of aparadhas, especially in sadhana bhakti. The anarthas are removed. Anartha nivritti stage goes. Bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti stage. In bhajana kriya also, anishtha bhajana kriya is the first thing. Anishtha bhajana kriya, in which there are six. What are the six characteristics? That all anyhow it will come. Anishtha bhajana kriya. It doesn't have more nishtha. Initially very enthusiastic, then whether should I renounce, whether should I enjoy, there's a complete confusion. Whether should I go to Vrindavan, just stay there, why I should take all these responsibilities, all these thoughts will come. And that is categorized in Ghanatarala, other names are there. Sahi, then following the then taking the vows tomorrow, I'm going to chant very nicely. I'll see to that I don't think anything, but still the niyama is a kshana. That means niyama is not able to follow properly. So trying hard, then anarthas are removed. Slowly is trying out. When the anarthas are removed, that anarthas are also coming in the different forms. And what are the anarthas? In the previous life, done something. The previous reactions are there, good reactions, bad reactions, sukruti, dushkruti, you can say. And then you have apradhas, different types of apradhas done. Nama Pradas done. So all these things come as anartha nivritti stage. In this anartha, the stage where anarthas have to be removed, he has to follow whatever Krishna has given. In the varnashrama, in whatever status we are, we just have to worship Krishna. Jnane priya samudapase namanti vajivanti sanmukaritam bhavadiya vartam स्थाने स्थित श्रुतिगताम तनुवान मनोभिर ये प्राय से जितो जितो भी असित्रे स्त्रीलोक्यम in Brahmaji tells to in the prayers, he says, wherever position, whatever position a person is a grasta, be a grasta. Sane sita. Purva Brahmana wanted to go along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Purva Kshetra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Sane sita shrutikatam tanuan manovid. Wherever you are, just be there and do your duties properly. Varnashrama duty. And what is the Varnashrama duty? What is the most important duty? अतपुम श्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रम विभागश स्वनिष्ठित धर्म से संसिद्धि हरितोषणम डू द वर्क फॉर द satisfaction of Krishna. वर्णाश्रमाश्रितः पुरुषेण परपुमान् विष्णु आराधिते पंत नान्य तत्तोष कारणम. Vishnu Aradhana. What is the purpose of Varnashrama? Vishnu. It is not just material duty. There no emphasis has been given to material duty. In fact, Karma Yoga has been emphasized. Do the actions, keeping Lord in the center. Do the actions. That is most important. You are in the grahastha, then you have to be with the family members. You cannot say, I just renounce all the family members. You cannot. You can engage everyone in Krishna's service. You cannot renounce the family members. So we have to be very careful, not that be in the grahastha and act like a sannyasi. You cannot do that. You have sannyasa vritti should be there. Sannyasa vritti at the same time, what to do? Grahastha means you have to adjust with the family members. You cannot say, I'll just sleep down, I'll not eat one time food. That all cannot be done. If you do all these things, then the other person will be irritated, isn't it? Either family wife does or husband does, right? The other person will be irritated. Either I'll marry, but I'll not produce children, I am renounced. Don't marry. Better don't marry. Somebody asked me, Mataji, we have been asked that you get married but not beget children. I said, why are you marrying them? Don't marry. So purpose of marriage is to beget the children, isn't it? So don't act like a renunciate when you are getting married. Renunciation should be from within. No attachment to anyone. At the same time, from outside, just be normal. Don't show something abnormality. If we are abnormal, people shun off. They don't. Anyhow, abnormality has not been propagated by Krishna anywhere. Krishna tells to Arjuna, Mamanusmar yuddha cha. You do your yuddha. You kill people. You kill the opponent. At the same time, you remember me. That's more important. Grasta has to go to office. He has to go. He has to meet people. He has to talk. So there, you cannot say, I don't talk to anyone. I just in office, just don't try to be a vairagi there. Inside,
Mhm.
be a Vairagi. Outside, like a coconut. Coconut is white from inside, brown from outside. Coconut is soft from inside, hard from outside. Just be normal. Be normal. Don't show abnormality. When we show abnormality, people they criticize bhakti. This happens many times, and this is all given so nicely in Madhurya Kadambini. So nicely it has been given. When there is Anishtha Bhajana Kriya, this all abnormality come. Initially, so much enthusiastic. Then afterwards, there is a confusion whether I should go to Vrindavan and stay or what. Why I should deal with all these people. Why I want a family member. Why I should preach and all. Why should I take all this responsibility? I should be all myself. I should go alone. All these abnormalities are there. These abnormalities are known as Anishtha Bhajana Kriya because of Anishtha. Still, our anarthas are still there with us. Slowly, slowly, because of sadhu sang, these anarthas also will go away. Okay, so 11 and 12 speaks about when a person is in the social order, he just has to follow the rules and regulations of the social order and never disrespect the Supreme Personality of God. The whole purpose of an ashrama is Haritoshanam, Hari Aradhanam, Vishnu Aradhanam, Haritoshanam. These two are the purpose. Write down and keep Vishnu Aradhanam, Haritoshanam. Haritoshanam means satisfaction of Hari. Somebody told me one crackpot is there here. You can say crackpot only. Our Jumur gave prasadam in stainless steel. And you generally, when you give, how you give in one dabba, na? Some vessel you give. You should not give in vessel. Karmic reactions will come. So, hey, my God. Prasadam, you should give in some, what do you call it? Dronas. I was just thinking, drona doesn't have karmic reactions or what? You purchase a drona. You have to put the money in the drona. So like this also, there are cracks who do too much for no reason. How can prasadam have karmic reaction? First thing, prasadam is akarma, right? What you offer to Krishna becomes akarma. There is no sakarma, there is no vikarma. That is why education is very much important. If only sentiments are there, it lands up to all these things. Knowledge and sentiments should go together. That means Sankhya and Karma should go together. Jnana and Buddhi should go together. Same thing, na? Jnana means Sankhya, Buddhi means Karma. Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga should go together. The same thing is told, Buddhi Yoga and Jnana Yoga should go together. If only Buddhi Yoga is there, then he will only do with sentiments. If only knowledge is there, he becomes an armchair philosopher. Only he'll become a philosopher. Both should go together. Okay. So read the verse.
Mataji,
Yeah.
that shloka you were saying, no, Vishnu Aradhanam.
Vishnu Aradhanam
Huh?
and Haritoshanam. These two shlokas are this. In Bhagavatam, any order is going to come. Atapumbir Tuya Shrestha. Another one is Varnashrama Achrita. It will come. This verse Varnashrama Achritaha has been quoted by Ramananda Rai to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ramananda Rai Samvad, you will find this verse. Varnashrama Achritaha Purushena Parapurman Vishnu Aradhyate Pantaha Nanatatoshakaram. There is no other motives. There is no other interest except for Vishnu Aradhanam. That is the purpose of Varnashram. You are going with family members. You should talk to them. You don't talk to them, why are you going with them? Simple. If you go along with family members, you should talk to them. There, if you go and chant and sit, you shun off with everyone. We are pure devotees, we don't even look at anyone. All these people are karmic people. What will happen? People will not like to come with you. You have like there is a nice proverb in Rome be like a Roman. Prabhupada also quotes this in Rome be like a Roman. Don't show off extra. If you show something extra, people don't like. If you don't become friend of people, people will not take up devotional service. We have to be friendly with everyone. And in this way, then only people also will like to take up devotional service. Okay. Okay. And you read the verse, Aditya, and read 2 paragraphs. Then Aruna will read next 2 paragraphs. Then Saurabh will read, if Saurabh is having book, if Saurabh will read 2 paragraphs. Total 6 paragraphs are there.
Maharaji. Hare Krishna. 1.2.10.11 यथा एकादशे तु तु व्यक्तम् एवोक्तम मुखबाहुरुपादेभ्य पुरुषस्याश्रमे सह चत्वारो जग्निरे वर्णा गुणैर्विप्रादयः पृथक् ये येषां पुरुषं साक्षात् आत्मप्रभवम् ईश्वरं न भजन्त्य अवजानन्ति स्थानात् भ्रष्टाः पतन्त्य अधः. Translation: In the 11th canto is expressed clearly that Vaidhi Bhakti should be followed by all varnas and ashramas. Each of the 4 social orders headed by the Brahmanas was born through different combinations of the modes of nature from the face, arms, thighs, and feet of the Supreme Lord in his universal form. Thus, the 4 spiritual orders were also generated. If any of the members of the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas fail to worship or intentionally disrespect the personality of Godhead, who is the source of their own creation, they will fall down from their position into a hellish state of life. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.2 and 3. If this injunction is followed, then all other rules and regulations will automatically fall into line. All other rules and regulations should be treated as assistants or servants to this one basic principle. The injunctions or rules and regulations and their resultant reactions are mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, verse 2 and 3. Chamasa Muni, one of the 9 sages who came to instruct King Nimi, addressed the king and said, the 4 social orders, namely the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras, have come out of the different parts of the universal form of the Supreme Lord as follows. The Brahmanas have come out from the head, the Kshatriyas have come out from the arms, the Vaishyas have come out from the waist, and the Shudras have come out from the legs. Similarly, the sannyasis have come out from the head, the vanaprachas from the arms, the grahasthas from the waist, and brahmacharis from the legs. These different orders of society and grades of spiritual advancement are conceived in terms of qualification. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the 4 social order and the 4 spiritual orders are created by the Lord Himself in terms of different individual qualities. As the different parts of the bodies have different types of activities, so the social orders and spiritual orders also have different types of activities in terms of qualification and position. The target of these activities, however, is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, He is the Supreme Enjoyer. So whether one is a Brahmana or a Shudra, one has to satisfy the Supreme Lord by one's activities. This is also confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by a verse that reads, everyone must be engaged in his particular duty, but the perfection of such work should be tested by how far the Lord is satisfied with such activities. The injunction herein is that one has to act according to his position, and by such activities, one must either satisfy the Supreme Personality or else fall down from one's position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. For example, a Brahman who is born out of the head of.
So whatever position a person has, one has to follow the duties as well as perform the devotion service. Yeah, read Aruna.
For example, a Brahman who is born out of the head of the Lord has as his business to preach the transcendental Vedic sounds or Shabda Brahma. Because the Brahmanas is the head, he has to preach the transcendental sound and he also has to eat on behalf of the Supreme Lord. According to Vedic injunctions, when a Brahmana eats, it is to be understood that the personality of Godhead is eating through him. It is not, however, that the Brahman should simply eat on behalf of the Lord and not preach the message of Bhagavad Gita to the world. Actually, one who preaches the message of the Gita is very dear to Krishna. As confirmed in the Gita itself. Such a preacher is factually a Brahman, and thus by feeding him, one feeds the Supreme Lord directly. Similarly, the Kshatriya has to protect people from the onslaught of Maya. That is his duty. For example, as soon as Maharaja Parikshit saw that a black man was attempting to kill a cow, he immediately took his sword, wanting to kill the black man whose name was Kali. That is the Kshatriya's duty. That is a Kshatriya's duty. Violence is required in order to give protection. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna directly gave his order to Arjuna to commit violence on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just to give protection to the people in general. Hare Krishna.
The Vaishyas are meant for producing agricultural products, trading them and distributing them. And the working class or Shudras are those who haven't the intelligence of the Brahmanas or the Kshatriyas or the Vaishyas, and therefore they are meant to help these higher classes by bodily labor. In this way, there is full cooperation and spiritual advancement among all the different orders of society. And when there is no such cooperation, the members of society will fall down. That is the present position in the Kali Yuga, this age of quarrel. Nobody is doing his duty, and everyone is simply puffed up by calling himself a Brahmana, intellectual, or a Kshatriya, soldier, or statesman. But actually, such people are without status. They are out of touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are not Krishna conscious. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is intended to set the whole of human society in proper conditions so that everyone will be happy and takes profit from developing Krishna consciousness. Lord Shri Krishna instructed Uddhava that by following the injunctions of the social and spiritual orders of human society, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as a result of such satisfaction, the whole society gets all the necessities of life amply and without difficulty. This is because, after all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead maintains all other living entities. The whole society performs its respective duties and remains in Krishna consciousness. There is no doubt that all of its members will live very peacefully and happily. Without wanting the necessities of life, the whole world will be turned into Vaikuntha, a spiritual abode. Even without being transferred to the kingdom of God, by following the injunctions of Srimad Bhagavatam and prosecuting the duties of Krishna consciousness, all human society will be happy in all respects.
If you see Prabhupada's purport, attentively if you read, Prabhupada has called a preacher a Brahmana. Why? Or a preacher can be from any caste, he can be given a Brahman initiation for serving the deities, not for performing the Vedic rituals. Vedic rituals is only for the caste Brahmana. He has never degraded a caste Brahmana. A caste Brahmana is trained for performing sanskaras. But when Brahmin initiation is given in the society, Krishna conscious society, the purpose of Brahmin initiation is to serve Krishna, simple. To cook for Krishna, to do the deity worship of Krishna. Maximum the ritual what he can do is, that is spiritual ritual. That is Narsimha Yajna, Sudarshan Yajna, that much. Vivaha sanskaras and all cannot be done. Vivaha sanskara, whatever, it cannot be done by a Brahmin initiated person. That is why if you go, if you say I am a Brahmana from ISKCON, then the other people who are properly following the Brahminical, they understand that they are initiated in Brahman. That is for worship. They know. That is why even in Mantralayam, they will not allow them to sit along with the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas who are caste Brahmanas as well as their devotees also. They are Madhvas. They don't allow them to sit. If you say I am from ISKCON, they know. They know that you are not a caste one. Only very few are caste Brahmanas. They allow them. Caste Brahmanas, they allow. There is a place where all the priests The devotees from Mantralayam, they all sit there. Only Brahmins are allowed because they have a proper way to even take prasad. They'll put they'll put the water, achman they will do. They'll eat properly. They'll not do ahum like this. And everybody sits together, chants. They don't get up any time. Generally, in ours, the moment you finish prasad, you take the plate and go. But in if you see in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, the caste brahmanas, they are caste also, they are devotees also. They are like a high class, like they sit till the elder person of the Pangat doesn't get up, they will not get up. Even if you go to Nathdwara, there also there are Pandits. They are very, very strict about all these things. You go to Srinathji, they'll not allow. Jhuta Bita, they'll not allow. Just because we take everybody and then that is why in Prabhupada times, Brahmin initiation was not given so quickly. They should not use left hand while cooking. I told to one of the Matajis not to use left hand while cooking. She said, I am lefty. I said, don't cook then. If you are lefty, don't ask for Brahmin initiation also. No, दोनों हाथ use कर सकता है. I said, नहीं, it is not allowed. See, that is why you go to any sampradaya. You go to Vallabha Sampradaya, you go to Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, you go to Madhva Sampradaya. You see how strict they are because they take Brahmins only. First of all, caste Brahmins. And Brahmins on their own, they have that cleanliness. Varnashrama Achrutaha, sorry, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. That is their guna. By nature, a Brahmana is very, very clean. And on top of that, if he does Hari worship, don't ask. So they are clean. So they cannot tolerate something which is wrong. So Prabhupada, he is not only a caste Brahmana, at the same time, he is a pure devotee. So naturally he expects cleanliness. Prabhupada used to visit the kitchen, he used to see like this, like, this is dirty here. He used to be very strict about how, because the people he met, what he can do. So Prabhupada trained them. But that doesn't mean that you disrespect the Brahminical culture of this country. In this country, there are 4 sampradayas which are already functioning very nicely. Kumar Sampradaya, Nimbarka Sampradaya. You go and see their acharyas. You go and see how strict they are. You go to Vallabha Sampradaya, just go to Srinathji. It's not just south. You go to all the 4 corners. You will find the caste Brahmanas are only for the worship of Krishna. Prabhupada, as an emergency, had to give because he had no Brahmanas with him. Though he wanted to preach Krishna consciousness here, it was not accepted so much. So Prabhupada had to go to West on the order of his spiritual master. So, as an emergency, Prabhupada had to give them Brahman initiation also. Brahman initiation, sannyas initiation. But Prabhupada encouraged them to worship the Lord. That is most important. Then you become the high class Brahmana. You worship the Lord, you become high class Brahmana. So Prabhupada's purport, if you see very nicely, Prabhupada has told the business of the Brahmana is to preach Krishna consciousness. That is the business of Brahmana. Not that I take Brahmin initiation and do Vivaha sanskaras, this sanskara, that sanskara. Rituals are not allowed. Rituals are not allowed. Shatkarmas are not allowed. In Shatkarmas, 6 things come. What is the 6 things? I can do yajna. I can get the yajna done. Understand nicely. I can do yajna. I can get the yajna done. I can take charity. I can give charity. I can take mantras. I can give mantras. Shatkarmas are not allowed for a person. Which mantras have been told here? The Vedic mantras. Vedic mantras. That is how in the Shatkarmas for the Brahmin initiation devotees and a pure devotee, in the Shatkarmas, yes, he can get the yajnas done. He can do the yajnas. What is this yajna? Spiritual yajnas. He can take charity, give charity. Yes. He can take mantra, give mantra. Again, which mantra? That is Harinam Sankirtan. So, you got it? Okay, now 12th verse. 13th. This paragraph is for 12th verse. तत्फलं च तत्रैव एवं पठैः पुमान् वैदिकतान्त्रिकैः अर्चन् उभयतः सिद्धिं मत्तो विन्दत्यभीप्सिताम्. So small in this book. The results of Vaidhi Bhakti are stated by worshipping me through the various methods prescribed in Vedas and Tantras. One will gain from me his desired perfection both in this life and the next. The Vaidhi Bhakti. The result of Vaidhi Bhakti, taking Archana as the representative of other processes. That means Archana. Archana means performing worship. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamodardi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. You are worshipping Lord, you have no desire, very good. You have all the desires, then also very wonderful. Moksha kamodardi, if you have a desire for moksha. Tivrena bhakti yogena, if you want to grow in devotional service. Everything is allowed in devotional service. You just perform devotional service. With desire or without desire, whatever it be, just perform devotional service. So this is 12th verse. Okay, read.
1.2.12 तत्फलं च तत्रैव एवं क्रिया पठे पुमान् तांत्रिकैः अर्चन् उभयतः सिद्धिं मत्तो विन्दत्य अभीप्सिताम्. Translation: The results of Vaidhi Bhakti are stated by worshipping me through the various methods prescribed in the Vedas and Tantras. One will gain from me his desired perfection both in this life and the next.
Read the paragraph also.
There is a similar statement by Sri Krishna himself to Uddhava in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 27th chapter, verse 39. The Lord says there, My dear Uddhava, all persons are engaged in activities, whether those indicated in the revealed scriptures or ordinary worldly activities. If by the result of either of such activities they worship me in Krishna consciousness, then automatically they become very happy within this world as well as in the next. Of this, there is no doubt. We can conclude from this statement by Krishna that activities in Krishna consciousness will give everyone all perfection in all desires.
Okay. 13th verse. Pancharatre cha susarshe vihita shastre harim uddishya kriya saiva bhaktir iti prokta taya bhakti para bhavet. The Pancharatra, it is said, O Devarshi, all activities prescribed in the scriptures with the Lord as the object are called Vaidhi Bhakti. So activities are involved, prescribed in the scriptures. That means according to Varna and Ashrama. Whatever duties have been told, just do it. Just do the duties. And with Lord as the object, not just doing the duties. Duties centering around Lord. Centered around Lord, you can say. That is Vaidhi Bhakti. That is Haritoshanam, Hari Aradhana, Vishnu Aradhana. By this performance of bhakti, one attains prema bhakti. So this is how a person can attain prema bhakti, go to bhava prema. Having shown the totality of results available from Vaidhi Bhakti, the highest result is described in this verse. Saeva Bhakti means Vaidhi Bhakti in the context of the current topic. Okay, read and the paragraph. Pushpa, read last paragraph.
1.2.13 Pancharatre cha Surashe Vihita Shastre Harim Uddishya Ya Kriya Saiva Bhakti Iti Prokta Taya Bhakti Para Bhavet. Translation: In the Pancharatra it says, O Devarshi, all activities prescribed in the scriptures with the Lord as the object are called Vaidhi Bhakti. By this performance of Bhakti, one attains Prema Bhakti.
Okay. Read Pushpa last verse. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Thus, the Krishna conscious movement is so nice that there is no need of even designating oneself Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasi. Let everyone be engaged in whatever occupation he now has. Simply let him worship Lord Krishna by the result of his activities in Krishna consciousness. That will adjust the whole situation and everyone will be happy and peaceful within this world. In the Narada Pancharatra, the regulative principles of devotional service are described as follows. Any activities sanctioned in the revealed scriptures and aiming at the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are accepted by saintly teachers as the regulative principles of devotional service. If one regularly executes such service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, then gradually he rises to the platform of serving in pure love of God. Hare Krishna.
So here is Mark. Any questions? Third chapter will do on Monday. Third chapter has how many verses? 2-3 pages are there, so you can complete. Now all small chapters will come, not big chapters, because the first initially it will be always big. The verse is just 16 verses there. So 14 to 29, that means 16 verses are there. Just in one class you can complete it. Okay. Any questions? No questions. Today I think some special day. You get to see Jupiter. Go to the sky and see Jupiter. Something is there. Somebody put the message. All people are going to terrace to see Jupiter. Is it right today? Something is there. You can see the whole galaxies. Here the sky is very clear. In Bombay, what galaxies and all? So much dusty. Okay then. Manchakal Sindhu Paditanam Pavani Vaishnavi Pranam Vaishnava